so happy about this.
Yes, so hello Reedy, welcome to the preview today. Obviously a big match tonight, playing Nottingham Forest, first game after international breaks, a big one to come back into Monday night. I mean, what's sad to say, it's a massive game, isn't it really? It's the first Premier League derby in I believe over 20 years for Leicester. It's a big match tonight. We're both in pretty, I said, very poor form at the moment. So what do you think to tonight's match, Reedy?
Last week I was a bit less positive as I am today. Obviously the game is today now, so you kind of got to go into tonight's game thinking a bit more positive. But like I say, last week I was probably more on the side of the Forest. They're going to win, they're going to beat us. But now looking at it, I think we can win. The team that we're going to put out, I'd suggest is probably the same as what we've seen most weeks, Ward's in goal. So we probably could lose, but again, it's the biggest game of the season now for me, and you've got to be going into the game looking for a win. So
yeah, I agree. It's a massive game tonight. We've got to. I mean, it is a 6-pointer. You know, if we lose tonight, we're going to be 1 point to the Forest 7. It's going to be a 6-point gap rather than a 3-point gap. Whereas we can, narrow it down and get on level terms. We need to win today, and like you say, it could kickstart before World Cup the amount of games we could win. Because we've got a lot of easy games coming up: Bournemouth, Leeds, Palace. They're not doing as good as maybe we thought they could have. I mean, obviously we've got Man City, which I know we're all dreading to play them. That's going to be a, really tough, game. I mean, with Man City, Haaland, he keeps scoring for fun. I dread to see how many goals he put past us. But anyway, we've got Forest tonight, and I think surely Vardy is destined to score tonight. That one there, I agree. I think he always loves a bit of that kind of game. I think you got to start him for me. Who do you start today? I think.
I've said because if it wasn't Forest, I'd still start Daka because you've got to keep it consistent up top. And if it wasn't Forest, you would be playing 3 in a row now. If you played against whoever it was tonight, but because it's Forest and it's a must win, you've got to be putting in your best striker. And on any day, Vardy is still your best striker in the team.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like you say, Vardy's definitely he's one for. He knows that it's a derby game. He knows he's going to come in. Vardy, I'm not going to lie, I can see him scoring today. He's not scored yet in the season, but I can see him getting a goal. I think it's tough. I'm not sure if Forest know that it's going to be much of a derby. I mean, the players, because obviously they've got a whole new squad. How do you tell them that this is a big match today? As much as Forest like to say Leicester's not derby, it is a derby game. For us, I think it was kind of the same thing when we lost 4-1 to them last season in the Cup. That was the last game, and a lot of players that played in that Cup were first team today, like Danny Ward. He got his chance against Forest, and we've seen him this season. He's not done well.
It's kind of like they've switched around the scenario from that last game because it's like they had a team in like a bit of a cohesion team, and they knew what they were doing in that game. They absolutely slaughtered us by playing well. It's not like they were lucky to win that game. They absolutely slaughtered us. Whereas now we ain't got any cohesion in the team, and this is where we need that sort of cohesion to win a game where I don't think we're going to have it at the moment.
Yeah, I think obviously a big talking point is Rodgers. He's still the man in charge, and I think for whatever reason, a lot of fans are Brendan Rodgers out at the moment, and obviously the international break is kind of set a level playing. I don't think many fans have said much about it because there's not been anything to talk about. I think you kind of just have to is what it is now, and I think Rodgers himself, I think he has been not really wanting to be in the past few games, but I think he needs to suck it up a little bit. He's on his big bucks, and he needs to do a good job tonight.
Yeah,
he's got a big game to do tonight, and there's a lot of things, like someone said, that's a huge game in more ways than one today. I 100% agree. There's no way about it. It's not just a derby. We need a first win of the season, really. I can't believe we're saying that in October. We need to win that first game already.
Yeah, exactly. And like for me, this is the biggest game of the season because if you don't win this game, you go into Bournemouth next week, and you could probably lose that as well. And then you can go into, I think it's Palace after that. You could lose that one. You've got to win today to kickstart that, and going into Bournemouth with a win on the belt and be like, do you know what, we can win it and get 2 wins in a row. Then going into the 3 games in a row.
If we do lose tonight, what where's Rodgers in this? Is he still there?
But that's the thing. It's like, and I'll say this now, people are not going to call me flip flop or whatnot, but the only reason Aaron Rodgers out at the moment is because he's picking the wrong players. He's putting Ward in goal. He should not be in that goal.
Yeah, and he more than likely will be in that goal.
Yeah, he will be, and that's the problem. Whereas I think Rodgers has got the capabilities and has got the management skills to turn it around, and he is a good manager. But at the moment, we're stuck in a rut.
Does he want to turn it around?
I think he does. People are saying he's done. He doesn't want to win anymore. He don't care. But
he looks a little burnt out at the moment.
I don't know.
As the manager,
I said to Jamie that the press conference he had, as much as people say he looks down and he doesn't want to be here, what he said has made me think he wants to stay. And as much as his expression doesn't show that,
we'll see tonight.
He's obviously gonna be a bit down because he's not won a game.
He's made the wrong choices. I think we all know that he's not made the right decisions. If he was it depends on what you say. 'Cause in my eyes, if I was the manager at Leicester right now, I'd say Danny Ward, mate, you've been shocking for us. I'd give someone else a chance. I mean, I'd obviously start with Iverson. If Iverson, well, you go down the pecking order again and you play Smithies. I know
That's how bad he's got. We have to go through all the keepers.
This is when I said when the window opened to the summer, we need to sign someone if we're getting rid of Casper.
But that's the point where if you're talking about keepers and you let Casper go, you bring it up as much as people said they don't want him because he's too old. But someone like Ben Foster, man.
Honestly, I would have took Ben Foster.
That's the case. Even though he's been relegated a few times, like he's a Prem standard keeper, and don't get me wrong, Ward at his time has been all right, but now you can see now he's been given a constant amount of games. You can see he's just not good enough. It's ridiculous.
The councillor is saying our defence problem attacking wise we're in good form. I agree. We are scoring goals. We scored 2 against Spurs when we lost 6-2, and same with Brighton. Usually on an away day when you're scoring 2, you're usually coming away with a point. Our defence has been, back 5, back 6, however you play, it has been the letdown this season.
But then again, with the defence, it doesn't help when you're getting switched out constantly. You've got one minute you've got Justin and Castagno on the wing backs or full backs, however you want to kind of position them, and then next you've got Luke Thomas and Justin on the wing backs.
I agree. It doesn't help. Says here, Ward's at fault for 3 of the goals he's playing. I do agree that it's not all Ward's fault.
No, it's not all Ward's fault, but
the defence isn't great at the moment.
But Ward has to command that defence.
Ward does.
And if you've got no captaincy in there like Casper was, or no control in that box, everyone's going to be anywhere. Like that, them Spurs goals that we could see from set pieces. As much as Maddis said that they trained on the pitch about all these set pieces that they want to try and do, and all the to stop set pieces going in. The whole defence in them 2 defending for them goals were awful. 2 people are on one person.
Whenever we talk about set pieces, it's been like this for the past 12 months, really. That they say it's going to get sorted, it never does. We've got obviously a new set piece coach in, and he's had 3 weeks to settle in now with the international break. So
I don't think you can give the Spurs game to him. No, you can't help that. But now going into tonight's game, this is huge. This is huge for someone like him to put his mark on a game, and this is a mark that he needs to put on this game, because if we can score 2 set pieces in this game and win the game 2-1, then it's perfect for us. But again, it's coming into the team now where you've got to be using this speciality that we've got apparently bringing in.
I think I agree with the councillor again. He's saying we need to drop all of these players that aren't informed. I agree. Will Rodgers do it? I don't think he will. I think he's not going to drop Ward. Justin will start. Juju will probably start. Tillings will definitely start. Evans, who's captain,
as much as KDH has not been the greatest, this is the game where he has to start surely. Against a derby, he's a young player. He's one of our own.
I agree that he's got to be in that team. Start. He's not playing well, but for me, the likes of Ward needs to be dropped. Justin, he's coming back from injury, not at his best shape. I think he still needs to play because he's our best option. Mm-hmm. Evans, captain, you don't really drop the captain.
As much as I want him to be dropped.
For me, Tielemans and Ward are the only 2 that need to be dropped.
The thing is, against these, I'd rather play Pratt. I'm sorry, yes, he's not going to be as interested in a derby as you're in, most likely, but quality-wise, at the moment, I would rather have...
We're paying his wages. He's here as a midfielder. Rodgers,
You don't drop the captain now. Yeah, I get what you mean, but again, and to be honest, who else have we got to replace that sort of spot? Yes, we've got Vestergaard, which I don't think we'd ever play against Forest with. And then you've got someone like a Marty, which I would prefer Evans over a Marty. So, but then if someone like Sionchu was like good enough and fit enough, apparently, I would still have had him.
Rodgers doesn't rate Soyuncu, whatever reason he's not going to play. And we've got, I think it'll be Evans and Fies tonight.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah. I don't think there's any doubt about
I think
that.
it'll be Thomas and Justin, or Justin and Castagna, one of those back. I think we're pretty much the team we saw against Spurs will be the same team.
Yeah.
Maybe with Vardy starting this time though.
But that's the thing. Do we go to wingers or do we do two up front? Because the last few games, obviously, we played one up front with two wingers against Spurs.
It depends.
Madison on the wing.
Like if we're not going to play with wingers, you don't play Barnes then.
No, but that's the problem because we when we played Spurs, I think we played with two strikers. No, when we played with Brighton, we played two strikers and Barnes, which just didn't work.
You play one or the other.
Yeah,
I agree. If you're playing with one left winger, you're going to need a right winger. And our vice captain, Mark Albrighton, has been picked as vice captain, and yet he doesn't get picked to play in the team. I'm not saying he's the greatest, but you know he's going to give you a solid 6 or 7 out of 10 game every week. And we do need a.
And to be honest, against someone like Forest, I'd actually probably start Albrighton.
Well, he's
I don't know.
Fan, so he's got some grudges against Forest himself. So
he knows what this.
Today.
As much as he's not one of our own players, but he knows what it is.
I just don't think Rodgers will play him today. Because I think we'll see a pretty bog standard team like we have done the past few weeks. My biggest concern tonight is that we don't get a thrashing. I know Forest haven't scored loads of goals, but we're very good at conceding goals. It's one of those things where it's the battle of the worst tonight kind of thing. Whoever wins, really, I don't think it's going to be a draw personally, and I don't think it's going to be a 0-0. I think it's going to be a.
I will say it's going to be a very scrappy game.
Yeah, I think it's going to
but I don't know. I don't think anyone can predict it. Even Phil says that anyone can win tonight, and on their day, either team could win. Like they say, Forest won against us last season in the cup. I thought that was going to be a lot easier game than it was. And then going into tonight's game, you think we have got the better lineup, obviously. They've got 22 new players. It's going to be hard for them to connect. But then again, they're the ones with the win. We haven't got a win yet. We haven't won a game. They
3
have.
points ahead of us so far already. It's hard to say, really. I mean, we were saying earlier, how do you predict today's game? And you really don't.
You don't.
I mean, the bookies have got us down as favourites to win, but if I'm all honest, I put 5 on Forest to win because you've got no chance.
You've got better odds to get it.
It's not one of those games where I can predict it. With the odds at the moment, you get some money back.
Who are you dropping midfield?
It depends. We've got a lot of midfielders at the moment. I don't know if Ndidi's going to play.
Thing is, that's the thing with Ndidi now. Someone like Mendy, he's got his chance to come in. And would you play Mendy against Forest?
Mendy is 10 times better than Souma. I'm sorry, as a defensive midfielder, Mendy is a lot better than Souma in that role. And I don't know why we haven't really played him. Rodgers, for whatever reason, doesn't rate him. Rodgers brought him in because he had no other choice last season. But Mendy was one of the standout players when he came in. So I'm not sure why Mendy hasn't been picked at all this season so far.
And you've got to think as well going into this game tonight. If they do win tonight.
Who Forest? Obviously.
Yeah, Forest.
Yeah.
If they do win tonight, we'll be 6 points off.
If they
we're literally 6 points off the bottom
tonight, for me, something has to change drastically.
We are 6 points away from 19th place. We've got to get at least 2 wins without Forest getting a win.
It's going like that.
Yeah,
it's going.
We have to win tonight. Even a draw is not good enough because they'll go to 5, and we'll go to 1. Then it will still be a massive gap. We still got to get at least 2 wins to get anywhere above Forest.
Like I said, I think there's 9 games before the World Cup. For me, realistically, to get out of this rut we're in, we need to win 5 games and draw at least 1 or 2. Yeah. I think we just have to do that. And if we don't do that, no offence, if we don't win 5 out of the 9 games we've got before the World Cup, I'm struggling to see us staying up this season. I know it's a sad truth, but we're 1 point out of 7 games.
That's the thing now, where the only reason I think Rodgers is in his spot still is because of the games that we've got coming up. That is the only reason I can see it because, like you say, we've got an international. I don't even think that with the international break, you would have thought out of any time to sack him, it would have been then. And now you've seen the running we've got, other than Forest, which is obviously going to be the hardest one out of the lot.
For whatever reason, top backs him still. So,
but I think, like you say, if we lose tonight, then it has to happen because you are 6 points off 19th place, and you've got to get 3 wins to even be above Forest before they even get a win. If they get 1 more win before we get a win, they'll be on 9.
I think we can all agree tonight's going to be very toxic. If we go 1-0 down, I think the Blue Brigade is going to be out tonight in full force, and I'm not going to say rightly so, but it is one of those games where we need to get a win. It's not rocket science at the end of the day.
No, it's not.
Forest have you know, they've scored a couple of goals, but they're
If
very good at
we
conceding.
set up right today, we can win.
Yeah.
If we do what we need to do right today, go back to
It's not
basics,
just
do what we
players,
need to
it's if
do.
the players want it as well. The players need to go out there and want it. I know we've got a lot more players that obviously Forest signed 20 players. It's hard for them to probably realise it's a derby game, but we've got a lot of lads in there like Madison, Drewsbury, you know, some of us, Justin, Thomas, Vardy. They all know it's going to be a big match. First time we've played like in the Premier League, a derby in 20 years. So I think it's quite a big one tonight for the lads.
Before we do end this, then I'm not having no for an answer. I want a result. What's your score now for tonight? We've got to have an answer.
I couldn't tell you, but if you put me on the spot,
You've got to tell me. You've got to tell me a result.
3-2 to Leicester. I think it's going to be very tight. I think, but it's going to be a lot of goals because both teams can't defend. And I think 3-2 is being generous. I think there's going to be, you know, I think it'll be 2-2 for a lot of the game. It'll be like 1-0, 1-1, 1-2, 1-2.
It's not going to be a runaway. I think it'll be
3-2
2 goals.
I think we're going to, you know, bang a Vardy hat trick. If I've not scored all season, get a hat trick today.
Who are you bringing to get out the bottom three? Get out the bottom. If he does go, you've got to bring someone like Dyche just to get us out of it. Because you won't bring someone like Poch in because he just wouldn't come anyway.
It's not about who you bring in. It's the fact that he's lost the dressing room. He's lost his players, and you can't say that they're happy playing for him because they just don't look at it.
No, I think the players want to win, but the way they're getting set up and whatnot, I just think it's going to work.
Game, you see Castagno all the way up on the other side of the pitch, and he's barely jogging back. It doesn't scream like he wants to come back and do it.
Yeah, 6-6. I'd play that. It should be an entertaining game. I've asked for your prediction. I'm going to I have to give mine.
You have to now. Because you're a Forest
Yeah.
fan.
I'm going to go for a 2-0. I think somehow to us. I think somehow Ward's going to keep a clean sheet if he starts. And I think it'll be. It's not going to be an easy game, but I think if we get that first goal, I think we might go and win it 2-0. I have a feeling that. I don't think out of all the teams we played where we've gone 1-0 up, we're playing against Brighton. They're not the easiest team today against. We get a goal up and then they score straight away. Spurs again, we go 1-0 up, they score straight away. Someone like Forest, I don't know if I can see him scoring if we score first.
If Forest are 19th, we're 20th. If there was ever a game to go and get 3 points, it's today.
Yes.
We have to do it, and like Mr. Dark says, Iverson to start, make our day. I would love to see it happen.
Oh mate, I'd literally be celebrating if that's the case.
It won't happen. I can tell you here right now. You can mark my words. Come back and tell me he's going to start Ward tonight, and that's just plain as day. That Danny Ward will start tonight. I mean, Danny Ward's been that bad that he's gone from being number 1 at Wales to being benched all over this international.
He's that bad. He's that good in goal. He's that bad. He's getting put in the goal.
Yeah, it's just,
ridiculous.
He's just. There's not much more to say to it.
5-3 to Leicester. I think we need to still concede from set pieces, but we have the power.
I think that's the thing tonight. Both teams are poor at defending. I don't think it's going to.
Who's going to score more?
Yeah, I think it is going to be who scores more tonight. I mean, we've talked about all the key points for tonight. I mean, in all honesty, how do we go forward from tonight if we do lose? And Rodgers is still at the helm of it. It's a tough one to take forward if we do lose. Obviously, all the fans are going to be.
The thing is, like I say, if we lose tonight, we're 6 points off, and I keep saying it, but that's big.
Yeah,
that is 2 wins. If Forest
get,
I think some of the, like I know Forest fans said that they've got a few good games in a row now. So if we lose tonight, they only need 1 more win, and then we'll be like 9 points off.
Yeah,
we are that far off. That if we don't win tonight, it's that big tonight. We have to win, otherwise we are stuck. We are very stuck. But that's the case at this moment. Phil, come on, we want your prediction. We need your prediction.
You two, they're so miserable, these two. All this, what happens if we lose? We're going to win tonight.
Yeah, what's your prediction? I'm having your result. What's your result?
3-2 to Leicester. It's not easy. But all the fans have got to put. We've just got to turn up and support the lads, haven't we?
Oh, exactly.
That's what's going to happen. And even if we go 1-0 down, you've got to keep backing the lads. If we've lost at the end,
we're 6
it's
points off. We're 6 points off.
Let's just come on. We're going to win it tonight.
We are going to win. But Sam, appreciate you coming on, and we'll catch you tonight before the game for pizzas live.
Yes, we're going live again tonight with a bit of an earlier fan zone show. Obviously, we're down on the ground, so come and say hello if you do see us and get your comments and views in tonight. It's a tough one. We'll see. Obviously, by then we'll probably know the team news when we do live, so we can say.
Who am I supporting? Jack, do one. Jack, do one. But yeah, appreciate you all coming on, and we'll catch you tonight for the show.